did not get it or I deleted it.
Okay, what the trash can transport, the never-ending story, is is progressing. I got the 3 new parts that we brought in a few weeks ago. The 90-tooth sprocket with the H25 format. It's so many teeth per inch, 25H, it's a standard. And I got the 9-tooth versus like the 25-tooth on the motor end. So I got the motor with the 9-tooth sprocket and the 90-tooth sprocket on the rear and the 90-tooth chain, and learned a lot. I got the master remover for the chain, which master link remover for the chain, which I didn't use a master link. I just just put it together. Pounded it together. Away we go. And then I found out the alignment is very critical on these chains. So
it's dangerous also to work with this stuff, chain and bits. And
you don't want to lose your finger. Or
don't want to put your finger in there, no.
Get your finger chopped off with a knuckle.
So bicycles are hazardous to your health.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got all the new stuff in and got it working. I had to drill a new hole in the 90-tooth sprocket because it was not the same size as the other sprocket that I used, which turned out to be a real pain. I got a drill press, but it's still a pain because the new hole had to be right beside the old hole. So I should have drilled in a new location. But anyhow, that went pretty good, and we got it to the new sprocket. It had to be drilled. Okay. I had to put an additional washer because the wheel would shift left and right on the axle. It's got a spacer and then a nut on the end, and leaves a little gap there. So I had to put another washer in to make that a tighter fit to keep the chain aligned. So we got that done. Now it actually turned out to be rather easy because I had a washer that fit. And let's see.
You could have 3D printed a chain guide, like a derailleur guard.
Oh.
Could have something like that. That would have protected you for your chain.
So we got it all put together and got it all properly aligned. I learned one way the easy way to align it, because I'm using hose clamps to clamp the motor to the frame, and with a wooden backer to keep it in place, you can flip the thing up on his end and put it on his tongue, stand it up, and the tongue will balance it, and you just drop the chain down right into and let it hit the motor and match the teeth up to the motor, and then just clamp it down. You're done. I did have to center the sprocket because my holes were not exactly thing. I found out that was relatively easy to do. Just rotate when it's engaged. You can rotate the wheel and watch the tightness of the chain. And if it's too tight, then you squeeze it, and that'll adjust it a little bit. And then you can fire it up and leave the chain, leave the bolts on the sprocket a little bit loose, and it'll self-center. So tighten the bolts down, away we go. So I got all that put together. The mechanical stuff is really a pain in the butt. If you have to do mechanical stuff, that's why I'm looking at, you'll see my alternative to this option. So now let's see what we got here. We don't see that. There is an alternative. Let me show you the actual operation. I'm just putting, here is the
2 batteries and jumper cables.
2 batteries, jumper cables. The jumper cables are just the connector to connect the 2 batteries together, because I found out I had to use 24 volts. 12 volt was not enough. There is the chain right there.
What are the motors rated for voltage?
The original batteries had 2 12-volt batteries. So the original zip cycle had two 12-volt batteries for 24 volts. Okay. And that's what we got. And so the 24 volts got uphill. I'm putting the voltage directly on the motor. So this is full throttle.
Full throttle, full current. Oh my gosh.
There we put a clamp on, and there it is going up the driveway. And it's a brisk walk.
It's
keeping
moving,
up.
it's tooling compared to what it was.
Oh yeah, it's moving. You have to do brisk. I'm guiding with the tongue, with my tongue. Yeah. So that's up the driveway. It is faster than I wanted to go, which fine. When I put the drive back on it, then we should be good to go. It should have
You'll be
enough
able to
power.
control it.
Those batteries are 50 pounds apiece. That's 100 pounds of batteries. Period.
Do you really need that?
No, I hope not. I got Steve brought me some of the batteries, and I got another stock with you of those gel batteries. I'm hoping it'll operate off
You
the
can
gel
go
batteries.
off those
It's
batteries.
not running. It's not pulling a lot of current, guys.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a 100-watt motor. So now, having
With
gone
full-
through all
with
this,
full trash and everything and those heavy batteries, we'll be able to handle that load, you know.
when I go to I mean that's 100 pounds of stuff.
Yeah.
In there, it should be able to handle the load, but it's a pain in the butt and it's dangerous. That chain is hazardous to the health. You need a cover or something
Cover it, yeah.
around the chain, la 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 la. And so that's when we started looking at this. And I ran across this, and I'm more like, what? What? And this is a
Balance and screw wheel.
what do they call it?
Hoverboard.
Is that a hoverboard wheel?
That's a hoverboard wheel. And Vicente, I found it, and it had like 5 wires coming out of it, 6 wires. I said, what? What is it? What do you do? He found a controller and how to wire it and the whole 9 yards. I'll show you that in a second.
$30.
This is what it looks like. $30. This is the price of that's a used one, but they're about 30, 35 bucks new. You can buy them new for that. And look, there's no chain, no nothing.
Nothing.
Oh,
There
you
are
mount this.
Three
Very
power
safe
wires already mounted.
Very safe to use it.
Now this is 6 inches. Leroy's got some that were like 8 inches that Frank may have. I'll interrogate Frank at some opportune time.
But like,
Frank has DC motors. Are different.
yeah,
The
like
Frank
like
tools.
like he pointed out, the ones that I've got may not have enough torque.
Now these have these smaller wires here. They are Hall effect transducers. So
Is
this,
to check the position and adjust the
Yeah.
the commutation of the brushless motor.
will it control the speed?
Yes,
Well, with that controller?
by itself. Not the controller. Use the signals of the
And
the Hall effect sensors,
transducers, yeah,
like a square waves
to control the
try
speed.
to move the voltage and adjust the speed to the voltage you set in the potentiometer to
Okay,
decide the speed.
yeah, well,
But the controller use a closed loop control
Wow.
of the speed you select.
wow.
Those would
By
probably be a
itself.
lot better than the ones that Frank's got anyway, because they can do
You
that.
have
Oh,
almost all done with this approach.
The ones that Frank's has, I think there's only 2 wires. There might be 3 wires, but I think there's only 2 wires. So it's a DC motor inside. This is doing a lot.
So with this concept,
You don't need big batteries also. You can use small batteries.
You know, there's a guy over at the manufacturing, and he repairs scooters, the hoverboard scooters. He might know a good source of where to buy the wheels and stuff from. I mean, like, less expensive.
a guy at where?
The manufacturing.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
the manufacturing
Oh, okay.
gym, whatever it is, right? Yeah, he knows how
I
to
need
get
a
the controllers
stock of
on it.
used ones right now. I don't need new ones for what I'm doing. But yeah, might find a good source of those. The only problem I have, well, this opens up a whole new world because I could just use a board now, plywood,
Mhm.
and find a way to
Yes.
mount it on plywood and
Anything you want.
anything you want. I don't
Anything
need.
you want to move You can use this.
The only thing, the steering mechanism, the question I have about steering them, I could get two of them and steer it, but then you're going to have to do the tail dragger, and putting 200 pounds on a tail dragger, it's going to take a tail dragger with ball bearings, and then you're going to hit it where it's just at the wrong angle to turn left or right.
2 hoverboard wheels for $40, free shipping.
Well, cool. That's cheap enough. Where?
eBay. This is the first item.
Is that a bid or that's a bid?
Buy it now.
Buy it now?
Free shipping. Buy it now.
Okay, what's the hoverboard?
Hoverboard wheel.
Hoverboard.
It says used.
Is that the wheel or the motor wheel?
Hoverboard wheel. It looks exactly like the picture you showed.
You've got hover round. Hover round is a different
Hoverboard.
thing.
Oh, okay.
Hover round's a wheelchair.
Yeah. The old lady sitting at the edge of the
And you're
Grand
expecting
Canyon.
to type properly?
I do have a customer that he does the hover round wheelchairs. Are any of those parts of interest to you guys?
Yes.
Also hover rounds?
The motors are fantastic motors.
Okay.
Are they really?
Oh, yeah.
Workhorse?
They're for a little different purpose than I think than these. These are geared for slower or cheaper or slower, and got the controllers and all kinds of stuff. Okay, you're saying 2 for 40?
I put in hoverboard wheel. Hoverboard space wheel.
Hoverboard space wheel. Is that what I got?
Yeah.
Okay.
Buy it now? Or is it a bid?
But you are searching in Australia. No, not really.
My search is under all. I sorted. I just sorted for best match. Your
Just
sort
click on the
price.
item there, Ray,
Yeah.
and get the item number.
Pair of 6.5 inch replacement wheel rim tire.
There.
There they are.
There you go.
$40, 182 sold, pre-owned.
Free shipping.
It shows once again that eBay mobile app and eBay desktop app do two entirely different searches.
No,
Well, I
I
took all
searched
in
for
the-
best, and he was searching for lowest price.
If you figure out how they search, let me know.
But it would be smart for them to,
They do
Brand,
two entirely
Brand,
different.
motorized parts. What do you think, guys? Is that a deal? Am I
there's
buying
one
it?
for, I think you saw it earlier, $25 free shipping, $25.95.
That's 2 for awful cheap, huh?
That's $20 a piece.
99.3%.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey,
We have not seen Jeremy
Do
in
what
a
you
while.
want.
I was on vacation.
Oh,
Yeah,
we are shopping.
that's good. You're on vacation.
Went to Alaska. It was good.
Went to Alaska.
Yeah.
What else am I buying, Ray, while you're here? He's good. Well, I think you'll find
I
it
was
cheaper.
on my
though.
Kindle, remember you
To
talking
get
about
checked.
turtle wax? They put a hedge, I got
The
a
only-
pruning
The
sheet.
only problem with finding it cheaper is it comes from
Where
China.
the heck did he come up with
Takes forever.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's what the sensei showed me, and I'll show you what's going on here.
That just happened today, matter of fact.
I watched part of this, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
All right.
You are at the end of the video.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's a cute little.
Oh,
cute
hey, can we get the dog to haul the garbage down for us?
little- Yeah.
Okay, so they're mounting their,
Oh, look at this. This is something that I found interesting. Look at what this guy's got. This is a drill press. This is the base of a drill press.
yeah.
Do you see that?
A clamp?
It's a clamp.
It's a clamp that
It's a vice
mounts
grip
in the
clamp.
drill player, in the
Yeah, yeah.
drill press frame.
You've never seen one of those before?
No, are you kidding me? That's nice. I gotta find that next.
You can use
Now, here's
a
the
bench
wires
press.
for it. There's the 3 power wires, and these are the Hall effect sensors. And, okay. It blocks the video at both sides, so that's weird.
Amazon, haven't arrived. Since brushless motor driver runs anywhere from 12 to 36 volt. And there's the Hall effect sensors.
You can use the Arduino to
Basically,
put an analog voltage
Runs anywhere from
in
12
the
to 36
in
volt.
So he's just using the pot here, but you could use your, like you said, Arduino
Mhm.
analog out.
But you need to check if the red wire has 5 volts.
Okay.
Because you need to move the voltage in the range of the red wire and the black wire. You need to move in this range of voltage. I don't know if it's.
He got 1.7 volts off of this.
Usually are 10 volts in many bulbs.
Okay.
Maybe you need to double the voltage of the Arduino with an amp.
So here's the board. Okay.
Mhm.
And this one goes up to 36 volts at 500 watts. He was using 24 volts on this one, I believe.
He's using 24 volts
Or 36.
or 36. We change the speed.
Yeah, it's up to 36. He got it up.
It will
This one
work
up to
anyway.
speed easily. Here's the board. The board's about $10 to control that wheel.
You need 2 bars.
And it wires directly up to the stupid wires on the Hall effect transducers.
Don't forget.
And there's the Hall effect
Connect
sensors.
and forget.
Basically, I got a 20K potentiometer that controls the output to the motor. And I don't have a heat sink on here, so I gotta be careful not to draw too much current. And I'm also only using 2 lead acid batteries instead of 3.
Those
So I
gel
only have
cells.
24
He's
24
using
volts
instead of
24.
36.
Of course, he's not putting any, he does fork them with his hand.
See this move, it turns on. Okay, I got this hooked up. Right now the pot's turned all the way off. Be careful because I don't know at what point it, there we go. Turns on. Let's see what, it's decent. It's not too hot. Let's see what the voltage is at the pot, or at the input. It's a little rough. How am I going to do this? Yep, it's out of control.
Fast.
The ground came off probably and went to full voltage.
All right, I'm going to try this again. See if I can get the motor to turn just a small amount. Looks like that's just about the knee. Take it just past it. And now, what is the voltage? Looks like 1.7 volts. That's the signal to get the motor. Quick. Holy shit, that's a lot of torque. Let's do it again. Oh my god, it's gonna jump out of there. And I don't have much current. I just better turn that down. All right.
Oh,
Isn't that a cute little dog?
Gotta be somewhere. My concerns about this one is they are 6.5 inch, which is gonna be a little low, but if I'm a little lower than I'd want, but it's probably okay if I can get the torque out of it. So that's probably an advantage of using the smaller diameter wheel, get more torque. And if I can get it slow enough, because these things are rated like 280 RPM or something like that, even more for this one. So I'm looking at those guys.
You might still see if Frank has one of those frames that he hasn't tore apart and just play with it.
Mm-hmm.
It should be fairly simple. I think I even gave him the drives, and the drive was like super simple to control with the microcontroller.
Mm-hmm.
It used relays, like physical actual relays, and switched the motors backwards and forwards. So I'm pretty sure it was only using 2 wires.
Oh, these got the encoders. That just, oh my God, that's wonderful. That's heaven. Uh-oh, and you're on 2 hoverboard wheels from 1 controller.
Mm,
Can you?
special controller.
I don't think so.
Can you? Maybe. Should
Well,
you?
this is
No.
where we're going, actually. Well, you got speed
I don't think
sensors.
so, because the feedback
Yeah.
is for each wheel. It's different.
Can you? Maybe. Should you? No. Unless he's not using
We do
the,
it.
He could be using a different controller.
he could be using a different controller. He could not be hooking the the sensors up too.
Yeah.
You remove the whole sensor.
Now he's putting us. This is my question about these guys. Is this strap thing? That looks like a stupid.
That looks like some sort of pipe strap.
Yeah. Oh, he's using a.
He's using
It's
an
another
actual controller.
He's using a controller for your like your motor.
That looks like it came out of one of those scooters. So it was designed to probably do.
Now those scooter controllers are even cheaper than $10.
Well, those scooter controllers are what usually goes
This
bad.
wheel doesn't have a feedback, you see? Only 3 wires each.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not having the.
Can have more, but
Yeah, he's using.
you cannot assure that both move at the same speed, depending on the wheels and.
So is this just a DC motor that's using
No,
steps?
they are brushless motors, but without the feedback, just open loop. Maybe
It's a scooter. He's got the throttle control right there.
no, they move synchronously because the driver is like a speeder motor driver. No, you can do that also.
Yeah, it
No, that pipe strap didn't last long.
Now it'll connect.
We're just gonna connect the power up to the second one.
that's
Using
what
the feedback off of
more
one
or less
wheel.
what Frank's got.
Okay.
If he was using some other device to steer it, basically he could use one wheel as an encoder for speed, and the other would have more or less amperage, depending on the. This would be functional. But you only want to use one encoder. Some people have to steer it, and you're going the wrong direction.
in different directions.
He's gonna go in circles.
Yes,
So we can just swap the wires. though.
yes, yes.
Oh, no, it's actually, can you swap the wires and change the direction?
The one that Frank's got is doing something very, very similar to that, only the controller is relays. It doesn't even have a controller, it's just a bunch of relays. You hear it go click, 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 click.
Oh, look at this. This is interesting. The other one's turning when he touches the second one. The other one.
Reduce electricity.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's going,
It's like
he's
two
going to blow
DC
something up.
motors connected.
Permanent magnet. Okay.
Yeah. I saw that happen.
As a generator.
I saw that going to happen. You know, you actually, the 4-wheel robot that I've got, when I hooked it up like that with no power, I could turn one and it would turn the other wheel. It did the same thing. It was kind of neat.
So you can't just switch the wires on.
Where are the hall sensors?
The hall sensor is supposed to be going back to some other control system for closed loop speed control.
You are using the whole sensors of one wheel, right? The problem will be when there is load that try to stop the wheel. Not with the feedback.
That's the problem with those controllers. Those controllers are cheap, and 90% of the scooters that I have bought cheap that don't work is because those controllers have gone bad. Because they are cheap ass controllers.
Okay, so we need to go on
Designed to fail.
a garage sale hunt for hoverboards.
You can buy the scooters that he actually took the motor out of. You can get those for between $5 and $10 because they don't work. Either the batteries have gone bad in them and people don't know how to replace them, or the controller has gone bad. And at that point, it's not really worth replacing.
So we need to go to.
I used to go to garage sales all the time and buy that. I had.
Now, some of the scooters have the hub motors in them instead of the chain drive.
No, the scooters like the one I gave you, I've never seen a hub motor in it.
Okay, so we like the hub motor. That's where I'm going. Hub motors.
The hub motors came in. They were larger stand-up things.
Is it just because you can get more torque out of them and no chain?
No chain.
They're easy.
Yeah.
They're just stupid simple
Easy to control.
and not expensive. All you have to do is bracket on there, and no chain, no alignment, no nothing, just dirt, stupid. And the controllers, there's a picture of the controller down at the bottom, and they're $10. And that's the one he was just showing us. Had to have two controllers.
A decent controller.
It looks like a decent controller with the encoders built in. It's because I had all this crap and I still got to do encoders, and I'm sweating the encoders. I don't like this encoder crap because it's a pain in the butt. You're going to get whacked one off, the other one's going to fall off. These are built in. Nice.
Have we gone on Craigslist or anywhere to look to see if we could find
No?
hoverboards that are broken?
Well, that's true. Now I got 2 motors on order thanks to
Well,
Ray here.
$20 is not a bad
Check your email,
price
you might
for-
be getting a clamp too.
and you keep prowling around, you just run into stuff. And now the question is, I do 2 of these motors. I still have the steering mechanism. Is there a resolution, or what do you guys think about the problem of just using those for steering also and using a tail dragger? Because I'm concerned about the tail dragger.
Well, you're not talking about an actual drag. You're talking about a wheel, a caster wheel,
or
wheel, something.
because
I wouldn't actually drag like the original compact rover does.
yeah, or rollerball, whatever it takes.
Rollerball.
My thing is, if you get 200 pounds on the back wheel and you got a caster back there, is it going to turn? You know how you have chairs or tables and you're turning them and they don't want to exactly, they get stuck.
That all has to do with the diameter of the wheel and the center point for rotation.
So here's the question: cheap and reliable. Can we do that with caster wheels? And that has to do.
I think there's a law between cheap, right, and fast.
Don't have to be fast. It can be slow. So fast is not an issue here. It can be relatively slow. This is going to be a relatively slow device. And here's one of the issues. We're going to be going this way one time, and then we're going to be going exactly the opposite. So normal casters would flip around and go the other direction.
Have you ever thought about putting it on railroad tracks?
No.
In the driveway.
It's out.
Goes to the end and it clicks a button. Goes to the other end and clicks a button.
Some people might object to that.
Well, the cheapest self-balancing board that I have seen so far is $40, and it's in Cleveland. So you've still got a better deal because it's coming to you. You don't have to go to it.
Huh, Ray's got a deal for us. That's the deal.
That's the entire board, controller, and everything. Right?
That's the entire board for $40
Oh,
in
okay.
Cleveland.
But
But it's in Cleveland.
It's not the board that I want, by the way.
This is not the
No,
board, the droid that you want.
You don't really need all this stuff. It's just
We still have to buy the 2 boards, the
it's
driver boards that we want.
Let's see. I'm selling blah blah blah. Pretty scratched up. Used, worked. Battery got overcharged and it exploded, so it may or may not be a good board anyway for $40.
Yeah. So
And a 250-mile
And
drive to
and
Cleveland.
it's not worth driving that far when you can get the motors for $20 delivered to your door. So
the next discussion on Google Plus will be my method for steering it. Because if I can get rid of that steering mechanism,
why don't you just use fixed back wheels or fixed front wheels?
Fixed front wheels.
Like on the axle, like it is now, just replace the other end.
Replace the other end with fixed wheels that don't turn. Then
Because you're just going straight anyway, right?
pretty much, but still I need to turn.
But you're only turning a little bit, and if
Yeah.
you do it in the front, the back wheels will follow you around.
In theory.
Yeah, it's
where do you plan to put the weight of the trash can?
on both ends. It's going to hold 2 cans, one in the front, one in the back.
Ooh, wow.
Because that's reality.
Yeah. You only have so much of a
I need
wagon.
to bring reality into this. I know. Sorry about
It's
that.
like a wagon size.
Oh, crap.
You have to use the whole wagon area to put the cans in, aren't you?
My wagon will hold 2 cans.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
about it.
That's it.
So you're gonna have to use the front and the back, the full space that you'll have, and that's it.
Yeah. But with this new invention, I can use a board and put the wheels on the back and some sort of wheels on the front, but I still got a steering issue.
You want to be able to steer it if you have to, because in theory, it's going to go straight, but you got a driveway with pebbles and.
Yeah, I do need a couple of degrees of steering with the original plan.
I think that you need to work in a location system, just to know where you are always and move the wheels to go wherever you want.
Do you think that I can do steering with the rear wheels? What do you think, Ray? Just have straight front wheels, always pointing front, because I'm going out and back. I just need to do a degree of two.
Kind of like the train track approach, but I would go with a monorail.
I'm just thinking of that ice clump in the middle of winter where you're gonna have to move that thing just a little bit once in a while because you got a big ice clump there. Then, something like that.
Yeah, you do need to be able to adjust
to modify it and then move it back.
If I get 2 degrees off, or if I get 5 degrees off, I'm quitting. I don't care what you got.
I think they have an extra monorail car over at Jungle Gyms.
All right.
Have you seen their monorail?
Yeah, if you're walking across the yard, you could trip on a monorail or bang your head into a monorail.
Yeah. Plus, you have to put the rail in, don't you?
You can use like a rectangle with the two proportion wheels.
Yep.
And caster wheels.
Yep.
Yeah, you always know you are rotating. At this point, always. You can control everything.
The issue here with that, and we brought it up before, the issue is when you're coming back this way, you go up there and you go straight, and you go left, right, and you do minor adjustments. When you come back, those caster wheels are going to have to flip around.
The direction always is controlled by the speed of these wheels. Doesn't matter what is around of this.
So
always move this point around or forward and backward. I see no problem.
Okay.
So, but if
This is
you
a free movement platform.
I'm going to be putting 100 pounds on those, the front, there were probably 2 caster wheels.
To good one, very smooth with ball bearings and things.
That's probably worth a try to get some ball bearing caster wheels and see if I can do it, see if they'll flip.
But I don't know, you want to put the weight in the back and weight here?
Yes.
It's where you're gonna put the cans.
The cans are gonna be in the center, they're gonna be side by side.
Yeah, but they're pushing up towards.
How much do you really need it to turn?
In the original plan, you didn't really need it to turn much.
I need to go 2 directions, and I do need to be able to adjust like 5 degrees. Let's say 5 degrees.
That would make sense.
Oh, pivoting.
And there are motors that they're highly geared, and all it's gonna do is do a little bit. So you're gonna be, I'd probably put that right at the center there, but that way it goes, swings its arm back. All it does is turn just a little bit. It's only gonna turn the whole axis. Maybe.
I'm gonna have 100 pounds on the front and 100 pounds on the back.
Yeah, and the good thing about it is,
that pivot point.
Your weight would be right here. Yep. That's where your weight items are gonna be, or at least that's centered right there.
That's more or less what he's got now.
Okay, so even if your weight was,
I've got a steering mechanism with rack and pinion type steering. It's a complicated. Had to buy it with the steering mechanism built in and put an arm on it because you've got 2 crossbars on the steering mechanism. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This simplifies it. If I get that center bearing there that would hold the weight and flex easily, and I've got
basically you've got that cart, right?
Yeah, I got a wagon. It's just a pull wagon, that's all it is. And with the,
How tall are the wheels on that?
they're 8-inch wheels.
So you're going to drop it by 2 inches by putting these wheels.
I'm gonna drop the wagon thing altogether and use a board. This is a good idea. This is an alternative, except for the rail part. I don't see that at all. But no, that's
In a monorail.
if I can get that center part where it'll hold 200 pounds or 100 pounds in the center and handle 100 pounds and still be flexible, that would be ideal. And a roller bearing of some sort, roller bearing mechanism in the center, that would be cool.
There are caster wheels for thousands of pounds or more.
Can they, the caster wheels would be even simpler. Okay, the caster wheels, my problem then is going frontwards and backwards. Will it do it? And that's probably what I'm gonna try next, is caster wheels, because if I can get them with sufficient capacity and should be able to easily, got caster wheels everywhere.
I'll donate, if you want to do this, if you want to try this method, I'll donate your crazy bearing. I guarantee we'll be able to hold the weight. Okay, the only thing I'm worried about is the bearing is intended, the bearing that I have is,
Flange.
that's what I've got. They're massive, awesome. And they're supposed to hold the weight in a certain direction. If you're gonna turn it on its side, I'm concerned that the internal piece might pivot.
These are roller bearings?
No.
It's a flange.
Just a
I mean, it's just like that, but I mean, you could use 2 of them. I don't care. It depends on how you want to use it to put the shaft on there or whatever you want to do.
Slit. How would you put it? You would put it like a.
What about use
four?
four wheels, four hover wheels, four?
4 hover wheels? Yeah. Oh, I think I'm gonna try it. And what you do with this crap is you just throw it out there and see if you can get it to work. And the cheapest absolutely is the caster wheels. If I can get them to turn and come back with the caster wheels.
Yeah. The steering's a bit complicated with that because just turning one side a little bit, I mean, your whole thing feels like it's one.
Well, that's what the original was, by the way. The original test of this, the prototype was 2 wheel. It was a tail dragger. It was the your robot.
Yeah.
And it was amazingly accurate. And it was a drag tail thing, but it didn't have the weight. So that's a cheap way of testing it. That's probably a good next step.
So would you have to cut the wagon and split the wagon to?
Now, if I do these 2 wheels, the wagon's out.
Oh, the wagon's out.
The wagon's out.
He just has a nice wagon to use later.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll repurpose it somehow.
Yeah, it'll repurpose itself. This would be, I'm looking at a piece of plyboard now, buddy.
Yeah, so you just take the wagon
I
out
like
of the
4
picture.
wheels. I like 4 wheels.
Use the plyboard.
Do what?
Only software.
Just use the plyboard and the flanges.
Well, I'm just talking about using a piece of plyboard.
Yeah, so you
Putting the
just
2
have
wheels on the
area,
back,
yeah.
and captures on the front.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't
I
work,
like
then
it.
I go to his plan and cut the plyboard into 2 pieces and cross over, lap them over and put the bearing there.
And that's
Go
wheel
on
the-
eBay and look up camera dolly.
I've seen those camera dolly things, but they're usually smaller, aren't they?
Oh, they're way smaller.
Yeah.
But the
Oh, yeah.
build function is similar. Okay, so okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw those. I said, man, bingo.
If you're wanting, scroll down just as, there's one that's called a Neewer, Neewer.
There it is.
The thing about it is that, I mean, if you wanted to put a bearing or a gear, like a half gear on the front and a small gear on a motor, you could turn one set, you know, and all you need to move it is, well, 5 degrees one way, 5 degrees the other way to correct for your angle.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get you away from a rack and pinion because the way that it steers front ways versus backwards,
Yeah.
and you know its lack of massive amounts of strength.
Well, these wheels, the rack and pinion out. I don't want to do rack and pinion with these wheels because rack and pinion, I got to buy the whole wagon. I don't want to do that. If I just had a board, okay, and the 2 rear wheels on it, I'm good. If I find something that can do 100 pounds and not have any trouble going left and right, and that's a prototype. The prototype was 2-wheel direction, and the way I did it was this one was going. I only had 3 speeds really. This one's going faster, slightly faster. This one going slightly faster, and I just went and adjusted this one, and I adjusted that one. And I had this speed, which was this one faster, or that speed, this one faster, and I had one that was approximately equal. And I had 3 speeds for the direction, and it worked like a champ. So I can control it if I can get the casters and just if it'll do it with casters. That's my next step, and then the next one. Because that makes it dirt simple. I mean, there's nothing simpler than that. You're doing away with a 3rd device. You're eliminating a 3rd device.
I will use the 4 wheels, controlling 4 wheels and no moving parts at all.
You got more hardware.
$50.
Oh yeah, I
will
gotta
spend
buy.
several months trying to solve in another way. This is just
Go on eBay and look up this number.
Look and play. Yeah.
SK-MS01.
It's slow. Sometimes this happens. I think they may be content filtering us or something.
And to know your position, you can use
Motorized push
plastic
cart disc looks
caps.
highly suspicious.
Suspicious.
Do it to the
Wait till the picture comes up. You'll be like,
inside
damn Ray.
place of the wheel.
Oh yeah. Hey, I already made this thing.
In the cap. And
Oh, look at those wheels.
for
Those look suspicious, Ray.
you know, can imagine like a peanut butter cap or something. Glue it to the wheel inside,
Okay.
and you make notches all around with a sensor. You can know exactly where the wheel is moving.
That would work.
And you can do it 4 times in the 4 weeks, and you have a lot of control of everything.
Okay, so we got some good ideas. I'll put it up on Google Plus and
What is that?
It's just a motorized component for adding to a camera dolly.
Oh. That looks suspiciously like
those
one of your
wheels look
robots.
familiar. Oh, yeah.
I thought about doing it. I was like, this is so easy to make. I thought about making some and like, oh, but it's.
God, look at what they're asking for that, and it's
Yeah, I
a
know.
couple of pieces of plastic and
No, actually, these are aluminum.
aluminum. Okay,
They're bent aluminum.
And there's the dolly for the.
that's the same
camera.
motors and a button.
It's the same motors and a button. I don't even know if it has a potentiometer for setting the speed.
And he's selling thousands of these a month.
Yeah, they are. There's not crap with them.
This to follow a path with the camera to make some. Okay.
Yeah, I do a lot of photography stuff too. Another hobby. I found something else that I've never seen before, so I thought I'd marked it. All right, any other topics?
Are you in charge?
He's sitting at the head of the
You can be in
table.
charge.
I
Ray's
tried to
in
put myself
charge.
up to the side.
Anybody else got anything else? Ray, you're up. You want a time slot?
I'll take a time slot.
Okay.
I've got that building that's 2,500 square feet. And I've talked to a couple people here already about making it available for if we want to build our certain projects. And that way you can leave it partially assembled, put it there. And I'm considering to purchase lockers, like gym lockers. Like normal book lockers are just too small. So gym lockers are bigger and would give us space that if we wanted to lock up our own individual projects, you could. I've seen lockers that were almost 18 inches wide and 2 feet deep and so far. See if I get a couple dozen of those and putting those along a wall, and that would make nice for if people wanted to leave their projects there, put a padlock on there. And they don't have to worry about somebody else. Oh, somebody must mess with my stuff. There's no question about it. Nobody messes with anybody else's stuff. I'm asking now before I actually continue reworking this building. So I'm gonna put some woodworking tools in there and some other various tools. Electrical, soldering iron and all that crap, basic workbenches. I'm not gonna completely outfit the place and say, hey, everybody can just come over and do whatever they want. But it's right next to our main building, so
It's off of Carmody out there where you're at now.
Yeah. The building is right next to our other Rabbit Laser building. There's electricity basically being brought from the other building, so there's no cost on it.
So you have another building?
Yeah, there's another building there.
Oh, my
There's a
God.
2,500 square foot building.
When are you gonna sell us some of Middletown here? You're buying all Middletown down there, it seems like. Jeez.
That's part of the 3 buildings on the one property.
Okay, so
It's just not been used at all for the past year and a half.
is there anything I can do to help you go toward your objective here?
Well, that's the point of it, is what's the objective? Do we want to use that? Do you guys want to have a space?
I still think that it would be nice to split off and have just a robot club, automation technology robot, whatever acronym we actually came up for years ago for that.
Okay.
ROC or something. At ROC or whatever it was.
That would meet over there?
Well, see, I think that because if you're dealing with building stuff or whatever like that, you don't want to be limited to the 2 hours that the library gives you. You want somewhere where you could come and go pretty much all day long.
You need to
Plus
let
you'll be
your
able to look
drawings
at
in
it.
the walls. And
Yeah.
You'd be able to look at it, touch it and everything.
And over there,
Blackboards.
we have internet and electricity, 220, 110.
So how do we get there from here?
Up Route 4.
You talk about logistically?
Oh, okay.
Well, if we want to decide that's what we want to do. We want to have some meetings there. We want to have that open for, certain people have keys, other people have open during, certain hours.
The real problem I see right now is there's only, sitting in this room right now, there's only 4 of us that have messed with robots.
I've never.
It gives them the opportunity.
Have you messed with your robot yet?
Jeremy?
Very long time ago.
Erector set
But
type.
that's the problem I see with it now is I think
I bet
I think
Steve would
With
like
us
the
having
4 or 5
noticed that and recognized, hey, nobody's getting physical time on robots,
Bet you
that's
Steve
why
would
we
like it.
started the whole Biddy Rover
I,
project.
I'm not
Why I-
disagreeing, but how do we get more people to
I think
I
Steve
think
would get into it.
the proper thing to do here, and I told you my my ifs and plus whatever. That's fine. I think the only way to proceed, the logical way to proceed, is to start. It's like doing this project. It's a crapshoot. I'm throwing stuff at a wall and see what works and see what doesn't work. And that might be where you want to go. Get your idea and see what you can implement and see what works and see what doesn't work. Maybe
just start working and see.
And spin stuff off of here and say, okay, we're going to have a meeting there, or we're going to have a build session there, or we're going to have a window that you could work there, and figure out who you're going to make responsible for opening it, because you're not going to be there most of the time.
And if there's only 2 or 3 people, then we'll know that it's not really a viable solution.
And you're going to have to build it. It's a different group from here. I see it as 2 different groups. My focus is different. Everybody has a little different focus, but we can bring them in and push them that way, or build it over there and push them directly over there, and support your dream, and just start doing stuff.
Would you like to build more of your robot or mess more with you? I know you bought one, didn't you?
No, I didn't buy a Bitty Rover because I didn't really have basically I don't really have enough working space to do it.
He's a perfect, I don't have the working space to do it anymore.
Yeah, that would be pretty.
Do you live in an apartment?
Yeah, I'm an apartment dweller.
No, it's okay. I mean, everybody in New York is an apartment dweller.
Steve, I bet Steve living in Evanston in an apartment. I bet you he'd be Steve Jones. Bet you he'd be interested in
Build it. Do it.
Because he lives in an apartment building and he gets tinkers with stuff.
Ray's got some of the biddies, some of the
I've got compact rovers, round rovers, and half droids.
What are they?
And I've got Bitty
generations?
frames, and it's like a 2.2 version, and we're at 2.3 right now.
He's selling them cheap to club members. If you want one, give him money.
So
instead of being $50 and $80 and $90, they're like $30 and $35, which really covers the costs.
And I can put these in the meeting notes. You can send me. I sent you a thing saying, what do you want?
The reason I wanted to be able to offer up some space is that, I can put some tools in there. That's not a big deal. We don't have to have a huge all-inclusive, we have every tool. But, some of the basic tools, it gives people space that, if they want to bring a trunk and lock stuff in their trunk, if they want to have put stuff in the gym locker type thing. But if somebody says, hey, yeah, I'd like to laser out something, walk next door, use a laser, and come back during normal hours. If it gets to be so interesting, I have plans that I'm going to build a bathroom, electrical room, offices, and then a whole construction area. And there's no downfall for me to modify that building that way.
Let's do it. And it's an investment. You're willing to make the risk.
Although all the 2x4s and plywood, nails, screws, tools are already there to build out the building the way I want it to be. The doors, everything's sitting there just to build it.
Let's, if it were me, and you know how I am, this is me, I'd build a charter, or this is my design criteria thing. This is what my idea is, and put it out on Google Plus, whatever, and then everybody chip in and have their ideas, and then you ignore everyone to do what the hell you want to do, which is generally what I like to do.
That's the way.
And see what we can attract. And if you need some help putting stuff together, doing 2x4s, which would be very disastrous in my case. I can use a hammer cut. But if you need help, we could promote that here. Or if you have an idea and you want to say, okay, let's try this. Let's do a build. Do you want to offer up projects to do? What do you want?
I still have a bunch of those
It's a
robot contest things that we could do too.
Maybe a
It gives us
culinary-
space to have a robot
culinary
contest,
club also.
and somebody says, hey, I need to
Culinary
grab this and real quickly
table.
repair it. And they're not scared to put the robot on the desk and scratch the desk.
Mhm.
You know,
I'm not
and-
scared.
You see this illustrious group here, this crowd?
Yeah,
Do you know how many meetings we've had of this Automation Technology Club?
No, but we have
It's about
a
10
promotion problem.
years. This is 10
Marketing
years.
problem,
10 years?
This is 10
How
years.
to promote
It's
something.
been about a year.
And it's loosely coupled.
It's
Now,
where to put the
you're,
information.
if you get
You need
people
to
in your
have
group, they're
a
gonna be
place
some,
in the library
Crossover.
to tell
they're gonna
people
be
that
extremists.
there are meetings.
You're gonna get the
there are
extreme
people
people.
working with
The
robots.
people that are
and-
really interested
That's what we need.
and really have a need for
newspapers
what
of
you're
the-
doing. And there
of the
are some out there,
country, you
what
know.
percentage there is,
You need to
but let's just do
promote.
it. If you wanna do it,
And
we'll help you
it's
do it.
work
I'll
with-
advertise
like,
here, I'll promote it, I'll promote meetings over there, I'll promote meetings over here, I'll promote your club, whatever we can do.
It's like the Field of Dreams, you build it, they come, but let it go organic so you get feedback to know what to build.
And throw it out there and see who
You
comes.
have to be in a fair, in Dayton Maker Fair. You have to use boards in the library to tell people that there is a group that is working in robots. You need to
Meetup,
promote. You need-
meetups.com.
Yeah, meetup, I'll do what I can in meetup.
Like
You
the
can-
Makers Fair up in Dayton there, yeah.
But people need to see
I'll
what's
make
going on.
it a dual website. Or a dual meetup, do a dual session with meetup. The meetup for
An
AT Club
interview with
Robotics
a-
Division
With
is over
a
here.
newspaper from the county or.
Yeah,
You need
they
to
have public
promote.
service announcements wherever they do that.
Yeah.
But,
Like you
yeah,
said,
But
you'll get
there's-
some
People
hardcore
don't know
people.
that.
There's also like the Pendleton Art Center is right there in
Yeah.
Milltown, and some of those guys, you know, they want technology in their art, so they want someplace to build stuff.
I never thought of Pendle, and that's just a few miles from where you're at.
One.
1 mile?
Yeah, you pretty much could see that. If there were no other buildings there, you could look right at it.
In the winter.
Oh, is that right?
See straight across.
Yeah.
Across the
You could pretty much see it.
the airport, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm from Middletown, so I know, I grew up there as a kid, so.
Is there a flying club in this airport close to your?
Oh yeah. There's parachuting club, flying clubs,
I used to fly a
RC
Cessna.
airplane, you know, the warbirds, you know, the veterans clubs. There's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of clubs over there.
I am a private pilot. I used to fly a Cessna, but I.
Warbirds have like a hangar there where the old Iraq
end.
is, isn't it?
All at the end of the
I
runway.
can, you can see the Warbird. I guess they got it painted on the building or whatever.
Cause
Do they still use Hook Field